Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katie. Today I want you to get out of your comfort zone. So if you're used to doing your yoga in a particular spot, change the position that you're doing your yoga in, so it's not always the same place. You can also try out postures that you don't really like that much. Just give them another go. You can also stay longer in your stretches and spend a little bit of time exploring them. And that's what we're going to do today. So join me on the floor. Let's take a seat. So bring yourself down to the floor. You can bring your hands behind your knees and walk your hands down the backs of your legs and bring yourself into a nice rod pose. Now just take one hand on the belly and then the other. Rest the elbows down on the floor. I want you to notice where your shoulder blades are. They may slightly be lifted, so press the elbows in the floor, lift shoulder blades up, hug them together and flatten your shoulder blades on the floor to open your chest. Lift your head up, tuck your chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck and place the head down. So it should be nice and comfortable and aligned. Now just drop your feet out sideways, loosen up the inner thighs and let's focus on our breathing down to the belly. So when you start, you may very well have your breath in your chest. So I want you to start to bring that breath down to your rib cage and then creep it down to your belly where your hands are and feel the belly rise with your breath in and fall with your breath out. Let's do that 2 or 3 more times. Alright, now we're going to bring our arms over our head and point the toes to the floor. I want you to reach your arms and legs away so you can feel a nice big stretch through the front of the body. Big breath in, open the rib cage, big stretch around the rib cage and then breathe out. Bring your arms by your sides and bring your toes towards your chest. Okay, let's do that again. Breathe in, arms overhead, point toes to floor and reach. Big breath in and breathe out, hands to sides and toes forward. Let's do that 3 more times, taking your time. Make sure the breaths are nice and big and you're stretching right out. Now finish your last one, big breath in, point toes to the floor. Nice big stretch and breathe out. Bring arms to sides. Now we're going to walk our feet to the end position. We're going to lift one leg up to the ceiling. So we're going to stretch the back of that leg. So take your hands behind that thigh and just you can link your fingers and place them around the thigh. So it's quite comfortable and your opposite leg in the end position. A nice supportive position. Okay, now if you can do a little bit more, so this is where we want to focus on just going a little bit beyond our comfort zone because we're quite used to just, oh yes, this feels quite comfortable, but I want you to now bring your hand just above your knees or below your knees and just draw the leg forward a tiny bit more. For some of you, you might be able to walk your hands up to your ankles or hold your big toe. Feel free to do that. Now you might like to try extending the bent knee. Lengthen that leg out. So you'll find that will make you work a little bit more strongly. So just finding that level that works for you. Now let's take 3 breaths here. Alright, we're going to bring that leg out to the side now to stretch the inner thigh. I want you to try and keep your torso and the leg that's going to the side in a capital L position. So lower the leg down. Now bring your elbow to the floor and hand to your thigh. Lower your leg down, just nice and gradually. You can have a bend in your knee. Take your other arm out to the side so you've got a counterbalance for that leg. Your toes can rotate outwards also to help counterbalance that weight. Now just bring your leg down slowly. I want you to keep your hips on the floor, both hips, both shoulder blades. Keep that leg in that capital L position, the lower part of the L, and lower it down. Now for some of you, you might be able to lower your leg on the floor quite comfortably. Please do. Some of you can hold your big toe and lay your leg down. Please do. Always feel free to work a little bit more strongly than me if you need to. Okay, let's take a few breaths here when we found that big stretch. Alright, let's lift that leg up to the ceiling and we're going to lower it down to the other side. Now, this time we're going to bring the other arm out to the side and the other hand resting on the knee, elbow on the floor, start to lower that leg down. And of course, stretchy people, hold your big toe and lower your leg down. Otherwise, just ease yourself down with me. Now, wherever your leg goes is fine. If it's up here high, that's perfectly okay. And if that's where your stretch is, just stay there. If you can do a little bit more, just ease yourself into it. Take your time. Try not to rush into your stretches. Just let your body take its time. It's going to let you know when it's ready for the next movement down. So just a little at a time, and it's happy to help out. Let's take 3 breaths here. All right, beautiful. Lift that leg up. Now I'm just going to move on to the mat again. Let's lift that leg up one more time. Place the ankle on the knee. We're going to take the same hand as the knee and push that knee away for a stretch in the hip. What I want you to watch for is keeping your hips even. Don't let one hip twist up and the other down. You need to keep them even. So if you're pushing a little bit too much for your hips, then ease off. Okay, so that starts the stretch on the inner thigh. Now, if you can, you're going to take your hands around or thread the needle around the opposite thigh. Beautiful. Now we're getting a hip stretch in the ankle, the leg that has the ankle on the knee. For those who want just a little bit more, lift your leg up to the ceiling and take your hands below your knee. Now, if you can go to the next level. You can bring that leg over your head, resting on the shoulder blades. That's it, beautiful. Okay, let's roll ourselves back down again, and we're going to do that all to the other side. I'll move down the mat just a little. So this time we're lifting the other leg up. Keeping the supporting leg in the end position to start off with. Hands behind the thigh. Let's link the fingers and draw the leg a little bit forward. I want you to keep your tummy a little bit tight, so draw it down just 10% just to support the lower back and relax your shoulders away from ears. Okay, now let's try to do a little bit more. Hands below the knees, and for some of you, you can walk your hands to ankles or hold your big toe. Feel free to do that. And some of you may be able to extend that bent knee. Okay, let's lengthen the leg away. That's it, nice. Getting a bigger stretch now. That's it, lovely. Relax the shoulder blades to the floor. Make sure the elbows have a little bend in them because you want to make sure that you are keeping your neck and shoulders soft. Now let's take a few breaths down to the belly. Make sure you're using all of your lungs. Okay, lovely. Now we're ready to bring that leg across. So let's slowly bring it across. Just elbow on the floor, hand just under the knee, opposite hand out to side, and let's stretch into the outer edge of the hip. And again, we're just going to do this slowly, just easing it down, pause and wait till your body adjusts. Shoulder blade stays on the floor, but the hip lifts up, and that's it, shoulder blades flat. The leg is in that bottom L position, and let's take a few breaths here. Okay, let's lift that leg up to the ceiling. We're going to lower it out to the other side. I'll move over a little bit to fit in. And then leg out to side. Remember, it's in an L position. bottom part of the L, capital L, and you can hold your big toe, of course, feel free. Don't forget that you can work at a higher level anytime you want to, or just work at a gentler level, perhaps a lower level, if that suits you. Let's continue to breathe down to our belly. All right, lovely. Let's lift that leg up, bend the knee, place the foot on the floor. Now bring those feet back to the end position, and this time we're placing the other ankle on the knee. Same hand as knee, let's push that knee away and lengthen through the arm. Keep the hips even, stretching gently into the inner thigh. All right, let's increase that stretch. Hands behind the opposite thigh, threading the needle. Okay, lovely. Tighten your tummy, flatten the lower back on the floor. Make sure that your spine is on the floor. Chin slightly tucked in to lengthen through the back of the neck. It takes a little while if you're quite tight around your neck and back to get your back flat on the floor and the back of the neck lengthened. So just take your time and persevere. All right, now let's try that next level. Hands just below the knee. Okay, and we're going to bring that leg over the head. That's it, lovely. Resting on the shoulder blades. Okay, how are you managing? All right, let's roll our back down and lower ourselves down to the floor nice and carefully. Place the foot in the end position. Now with this next posture, we're going to lift our legs up. So bring your knees to your chest one at a time. And let's lift the legs up to the ceiling. Now tighten the tummy, draw it down. You can hold the backs of your legs. Now remember, we're trying to go past our comfort zone. Just a little bit, try not to overstretch. So when you go a little bit past your comfort zone, that means a little bit, not a huge amount, okay? So it should be a little bit uncomfortable in the positions. It shouldn't be very uncomfortable. So always go to your furthest point and come back 10%. So you're a little bit stretched, but not overly stretched. All right, so now you can keep your hands behind your legs, or you can bring your hands to the floor. Now you can work into your waist, into your core area by pushing your heels up and straightening the backs of the legs. So in that way you're lengthening through the legs and tightening the tummy. You've got to work a little bit into the tummy area for this one. Make sure there's no doming. It should be nice and flat. It shouldn't be rounded. It should be nice and flat. So just check that it is. Now for those people who are quite comfortable in this position and have good shoulder mobility, let's bring the arms over the head. So breathing in, bring the arms over the head, try to keep your rib cage flat. Can you tap the fingertips, the fingernails on the floor? That's it, lovely. If not, well, bring your arms to a position where you can, perhaps out wider. That might work better. Or if it's okay, arms over the head. You can also hold your elbows. This is wonderful for shoulder mobility, but if you can't manage it, don't worry about doing it. Now, let's breathe in and breathe out. Lower one leg down, just a third of the way. Bring it down just a little bit more, tighten the tummy, and lower the leg down just to hover above the floor. Now your lower back should stay comfortable, shoulders should be comfortable. Then lift up again to a third of the way, and then back up to the start. Okay, let's bring it down, or we probably should say half the way. Okay, then down to the bottom, hold nice and firmly in the tummy, then lift the leg up to 45 degrees, then up to the ceiling. Can we do that one more time? But before we do that, we're going to change the cross of our elbows. Hold your elbows differently. All right, let's lower the leg down again. Breathe in and breathe out, third of the way, 2/3, and just hovering above the floor. Lift up a third, 2/3, ceiling. Right, I think thirds work best. Okay, lower the other leg down. So third of the way, 2/3, and down, hovering. Lift up a third, 2/3, and back to ceiling. All right, bring your arms back down to sides again. Knees to chest, give them a nice big hug. Okay, a little rock from side to side. Take the hands behind the knees now. Chin to chest, lift your head up, relax your shoulders. We're going to do some rolls. Now, if you don't wish to roll, just sit up and wait for us. All right, so let's roll, tap the toes down, roll back, and tap down. So I'm not letting my head touch the floor. I'm just rolling. That's it, beautiful. And let's try one more. Nice work. I'll just move up the mat a little bit and come on to toes. Now I want you to lift your rib cage up, shoulders draw down, tummy draws in. Now let's lift one leg up and lower it down. Lift the other leg up and lower it down. Now we're going to lift the leg a little bit higher if you can and lower it down. Oh, a little bit of a hip tightness, and lift the other leg up and lower it down. Now we're going to come into a boat pose, so lifting one foot up, then the other. You can extend your legs up as long as you don't work into the fronts of your hips too much. Shoulders draw down, rib cage lifts, lift your chest up. Okay, and let's bring our arms forward if that's quite okay for you. Beautiful. Hold that position, and then I want you to lift your arms up, nice and high. Can you do that? That's it, keep the tummy tight, arms reaching up, nice and strong around the waist, and we're going to hold this for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the feet down wide and drop your body forward. Take a big rest, breathe into your back and try to expand your back out with your breath. Okay, wonderful. Now we're going to extend one leg forward. Now I will turn and face you, so it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. I'll move back a bit so you can see my legs. All right, now we're going to bring one leg over the other. So you're just going to rest the ankle on the knee. Lift up your rib cage. That's it, lovely. Toes towards you of the extended leg. And we're going to bend forward. Now, if you can do a little bit more, let's try and bring that knee across and line it up with the other knee. So take your hand outside the knee, hold the ankle of the other foot and line them up. Lift the hips up now, pull the tummy in, sit down on your sit bones. Just wriggle yourself into position. Lift up tall, lift the ribs up and pull the tummy in, walk your hands forward. Now for some people this is going to be very comfortable, so you can bend forward and hold your foot with 2 hands. For those who find it uncomfortable, perhaps you might have sciatica issues, well then I suggest that you just stay up a little bit higher. And can you feel the work in the back of the knee? Can you feel it behind your knee of the extended leg? And perhaps in the toes, little tingling, or even in the hip. And let's relax forward. So nice and soft through neck and shoulders. We don't want any tightness or lifting of the shoulders near the ears. So tuck the chin in, try to find some length in the back of the neck. It's lovely for the spine and the neck. Take a few breaths here. Okay, and lifting up again. And let's bring our foot now to our thigh. I want you to line up the leg with the centre of the chest. Now, this leg out here is stretching. Now, some people's knee may be up here, and that's perfectly okay. Just let gravity push it down. You don't need to push it down yourself. Lift up nice and tall, and again, try to wiggle onto your hip bones, and then lifting up tall, lining that leg up the centre of the chest. Look at your toes, lift up, and then breathe out. Try to move from the hips forward. Place your hands down, and then find some softness in the back of the leg, softness in the knee, and let's ease ourselves forward. Now for this one, what I want you to do is take if your left leg is forward, I want you to take your left hand, your right hand outside your left leg. No, that's not going to work. So let's try it again. Your left hand is inside your left foot or your left leg. Doesn't matter where. Inside the knee, calf, or ankle or foot. Anywhere along there is fine. And then the other hand, the right hand is over the top. Let's hold just wherever you can along the leg. Just find out where you can comfortably with the shoulders away from the ears and tummy in. Chin tucked in, let's relax. Bend the elbows a little. That's it, let's start to breathe. Breathe around the belly and the back. All right, now this is where we're going to release our right hand and rotate our rib cage. So we're still holding on with our left hand. And then lift that right hand up to the ceiling, so reaching up to the ceiling. And we're going into a side stretch. So bring the arm over the head, tuck your chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Now, it's okay if you're up here. Do not worry. Don't worry about anybody else or what I'm doing. Just test yourself out. Go a little past that comfort zone. Now for the stretchier people, it might be quite comfortable for you to hold your big toe. And then what I want you to do with your bottom hand is place it on the floor inside your left foot. And then reach your fingers past your heel. Can you feel that stretch? Both sides of the body. Okay, lovely. Let's take a few breaths around the rib cage, which is working quite strongly. Quite stretching strongly, that's it. Remember, just a little past your comfort zone. And then let's lift up. Nice work. Okay, let's change legs. Other leg forward. And this time we're going to take this leg, ankle on the knee. If that's your best position, stay here. This is going to work wonderfully for your hip. All right, so don't worry about tight hips. So you might find your knees up a bit, it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, you're going to come into a position where your knees are lined up a little better. So lift the hips up, get right onto the sit bones. Lift up the chest. Now you'll find that the lower back from the lower spine, just up to the mid back, you'll be nice and tall. You need that lower back lengthened out when you do these postures. Otherwise you'll lose most of the stretch. You won't get one. Okay, so lift up tall, tummy in, and walk the hands forward. Remember, this is working into the sciatic nerve, so it can be uncomfortable for some people. So for those who find it very comfortable, bring your hands around your feet, elbows to floor, and enjoy the stretch. For the others, just move your hands forward just enough to feel that stretch in the back of the leg, that extended leg. Can we feel it at the back of the knee? Toes, hip. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful stretch for that leg. Now we need to breathe right down to the belly and into the back. All right, let's lift up, and now we're going to change the leg position, foot to calf, or thigh. Okay, knee drops out to the side, and again, we're looking for a stretch in the hip. Now line that leg up with the center of the spine, so don't let the leg go out too wide. We're looking for the leg to be forward, so we need to make sure we're in the right position. Toes forward, and that stretches the back of the leg. Breathe in, lift up tall. Breathe out, start to walk your hands forward, sort of about halfway down. Okay. Now this time we're holding the right hand inside the right foot, anywhere from the knee to the foot, and the other hand over the top. Pull the tummy in, bend forward. Now we're crossing the wrists because our mind likes things straight. It likes uncrossed arms and legs. Just wants everything in a straight line. So it causes a little bit of thinking in the brain. It wonders what it should do, this way or that way. So a little bit of mental activity to go with this one. So breathe into the belly and the lower back. All right, now we can release the left hand And keep holding the right hand on the foot and lift the left hand up to the ceiling. So open the chest, stretch it open, bring your arm back a little bit. Can you feel the stretch around the chest? That's it, beautiful. And then bring the arm over the head. So extend whichever point it is. Now if you're up here a little bit higher, that is perfectly okay. You've got good body alignment, that's all right. But if you're a little bit lower down, you might even be able to reach your big toe. Stretchy people, put your hand inside your foot, your right arm, and reach past your heel. That's it. Nice big stretch in the side. Big breaths. Lovely. Let's lift ourselves up. All right, just bring your legs forward now and just give those legs a little shake. Okay, now I'm going to bring my legs around to one side, so I'm going to bring them around to the left. Okay, so in a mermaid position, you want one foot onto the thigh. Place your hand down just behind your hip and lift the other arm up. Squeeze the buttocks, push the hip forward and try to open up your chest. So just bring your arm over. Now, any shoulder issues, you might find it more comfortable to have the hand behind the head. So bring the elbow back so you can get that stretch right across the chest. And pushing the hips forward means you get a stretch around the hip. Okay, pick your head position. Looking down to the floor sideways or upwards, and you can even have your arm extended. Feel free to do that also. Just make sure the shoulders don't come up to the ears. Let's take a few breaths here. Now we're going to take that top hand down to the floor and take the other hand, the right hand, just in front of the knee. Move the body weight evenly through the hand and the knee. Extend the other leg back and rotate the chest. We're in a gate pose now. A little bit of a tricky maneuver, but it works quite well. Nice big stretch up to the ceiling. Now, if you're nice and strong around your hip girdle, lift your leg up, squeeze your buttocks, reach your hand up. Now the foot can stay on the floor if you want to, but otherwise just test yourself up. Even if you lift your leg up and down, that's fine. Okay, for those who can manage, we're going to extend the arm over the head. That's it, lovely. And bend the knee. Let's try a balance. Hold the top of the foot. Push the top of the foot in the hand, create a bow. So now the thigh and the buttocks and the shoulder blade are working quite strongly. Let's take a few breaths here. Release your foot, lower the foot down, and lower your hand down, and let's take a seat. We're going to bring those legs forward now. And what I want you to do is just place your hands beside you. Tighten your tummy, and let's lift the right leg up. Let's just float the leg up. Now, if you find that too challenging, hold your leg and lift it up. If you can, just use your core strength to lift your leg up. Can you lift it a bit higher? And take your left hand outside the left leg. Lift your right hand up. Let's move forward a bit. And then bring the leg across and twist. So you want to be looking at your thumb. I can't quite get that twist with the wall behind me, just limiting my movement. So I'll do the best I can, but you might like to twist a little bit more around than me. So let's take a few breaths. So feel that stretch on the outer edge of the leg. Now, if you can straighten your leg, you can even hold your foot and push your hand into your foot to help straighten it. Otherwise, just a bent knee is fine. You're still getting a stretch in the back of the leg with a bent knee. Of course, the hip and the outer edge of the leg are stretching also. All right, let's bring that leg back to start. And we're now going to do our mermaid to the other side. So foot on the knee if you can, otherwise you're just going to stack the most comfortable way. Left hand behind the back, and here we go. We're going to sweep that arm up and over, push the hips forward, hand behind the head, open up the chest with the arm or the hand behind the head. And if you extended your arm last time, do that again this time. All right, let's take a few breaths here and have you pick your head position that's comfortable. Big breaths around the side of the body that's open. Now place your hand down, top hand down, and then line your left hand up with the knee, move the body weight forward, go onto your foot. And lift the hand up to the ceiling. Right, that's it. Nicely weighted through the hand and the knee. There we are. And if you can, extend the arm over the head and lift the leg up. Squeeze the buttocks, tighten the waist. Keep nice and long. Join me for a balance if you can. Bend the knee, take the hand on top of the foot, push the foot into the hand, create the bow. Okay, let's bring the knee down, take a seat, and get those legs to go forward again. Now lifting up tall, hands on the floor, just fingertips if you can. Tighten the tummy, lift the leg, left leg up, lift it up, keep lifting it. That's it, nice work. Take the right hand outside that left leg, bring it across the body. And lift the other hand up, draw it behind you, look at your thumb. Do a bigger twist than me. You can also hold the outer edge of the foot, straightening into the leg a little bit more. Let's take 3 breaths. All right, lovely. Looking forward. Let's bring that leg back down to the floor. And this time we're going to swing those legs around, coming into a cat position. Now spread your fingers out nice and wide. I'm going to tuck the toes under, lift the hips up into down dog. Now let's start by walking the heels down one at a time. Now try not to have a short down dog. You don't want one of these ones, okay? You want to bring your feet back enough so maybe your heels don't quite comfortably reach to the floor. You don't want a really wide dog also because you're just going to be stretched out too far. Okay, so medium-sized dog. And then let's walk the heels up and down. Make sure your feet and your hands are the same width apart. Now, can you feel that lovely stretch in the back of the ankle and the calf? Now this time I want you to press your right heel down and look under your left arm. And then change sides. Look under the other arm, press the opposite heel down, and let's just pedal a few more times, looking under the opposite arm. That's it, little twist. That's quite nice. Okay, let's lower both heels down and draw the shoulders towards the hips. Now pull the tummy up, bring the chest towards the thighs. Remember to press in the base of the thumb and index finger. Nice long arms. Big breaths into the rib cage. Alright, now we're going to move our body weight forward into an up dog. So you might need to slide the toes back, squeeze the buttocks, lower the hips down towards the floor, gaze up. Now you don't want the shoulders around the ears, so you need to push through the heels and the hands lifting up. If this is too strong for you, just come up a bit higher. Okay, so make sure you're working at a level that you can manage, and of course always checking that you're not in your comfort zone. Just move out of it a little bit. Okay, now watch any twinges in the lower back by softening the knees, tighten the tummy, lift the hips up into down dog. All right, beautiful. We're going to do that again. We've got 2 more times. So come into an up dog. Big breath in and breathe out. Lift the hips up, tummy up, and we can move quite safely between those movements, those 2 postures. Okay, one more time. Up dog and down dog. Nice work. Let's walk the hands towards the feet and let the upper body hang down, just nice and soft. Bend your knees and let your upper body hang down. Hold the elbows and let's just move the elbows and the torso side to side That's it, lovely. And place your hands on your shins, pull your tummy up towards your spine, squeeze your buttocks, slide your hands up your legs, and stack your vertebrae one at a time. Shoulders to ears, draw them back and down. All right, lovely. Now we're going to do 4 sun salutes. Now that will warm us up nicely. And so we're going to go just at the pace of the breath. So we don't need to move quickly, and modify your postures if you need to. But what I want you to do is really focus on your stretches. Don't concern yourself with the speed, concern yourself with your breathing. All right, hands by sides. Let's lift up the rib cage, lift up the chest. Now give the buttocks a little squeeze, tummy a little bit firm, thighs firm, so tiny pelvic tilt. So we've straightened up our hips, spread the toes out, flatten them down, feel the weight evenly through your feet. All right, let's lift the crown of the head to the ceiling, feel like you're being drawn up nice and long, so the back of the neck is straight and the chin is lifted. Lift the shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them downwards. And stretch those fingers, reach them to the floor. Check the back of the neck that there's no discomfort. Lovely and comfortable. And let's pause for 3 breaths. Now when you breathe, I want you to count to 3 in your mind. Breathe in, 2, 3, and breathe out, 2 and 3. Try 2 more. All right, let's begin. Sun salute, breathe in, circle the arms back if you can, reach up to the ceiling, palms touch, breathe out, look forward, tighten the tummy, flat back until you get halfway. Bend the knees, chest to thighs, really let the body relax, flat back. So now we're stretching out the body. Hands can be on shins, toes, or just in front if you find you're putting your weight too much in your heels. This is nice for evening up the body weight. And then forward fold, chest to thighs, and step your 1 foot back, right foot back, left foot back, plank. Let's pause in our plank for a moment. Now once you squeeze your buttocks together, tighten your tummy and draw your shoulders towards your hips. Keep your mid back flat and down. Look in front of your fingertips. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then plank to floor, or if you need to, knees and chest down. That saves the shoulders. Okay, breathe in, cobra. And tuck the toes under, lift the hips down, dog. All right, let's pause here. You can move a little bit in your down dog. Keep your shoulders and hips loose. And then crouch, look between your thumbs. See that nice little bounce in the hips, and step your right foot forward, left foot forward. And then rest on the thighs, flat back. Lengthen all the muscles out and breathe out, chest to thighs, and sun salute, lift up. And breathe out, hands to sides, hands back to chest, deep breath in and out. Let's do it again, sun salute. Breathe out, forward fold, don't rush your movements. Chest to thighs, flat back, breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Step back, left foot, right foot, plank. Breathe in, plank to floor, or pop those knees down, and then the chest. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, tuck toes under, down dog. Let's pause here, just take a few breaths. Now bend the knees, crouch, look between your thumbs, step left foot, right foot forward. Crouch, bend forward, flat back. Big breath in, breathe out, chest to thighs. Breathe in, sun salute, reach up. And breathe out, hands to sides, hands back to chest in prayer. Deep breath in and out. Let's do 2 more rounds, sun salute. And breathe out, forward fold. Chest to thighs and flat back, breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Step right foot, left foot back, plank. Breathe in, plank to floor. And breathe out. Breathe in, cobra. Elbows hug the sides of the body, tuck toes under. Down dog, breathe out. And just a little movement here, a few breaths, just loosen up. And then crouch, look between your thumbs. Now you can step one foot forward then the other or jump, but land with bent knees. So you land really softly and your chest is on your thighs into forward fold. Flat back, stretch out. Big breath in and breathe out, chest to thighs. Breathe in, sun salute. Lifting up, reach to the ceiling and breathe out. Hands to sides, back to chest in prayer. Deep breath in and breathe out. Last time, sun salute. And breathe out, forward fold. Chest to thighs and flat back. Breathe in. Breathe out, forward fold. Step back, left foot, right foot, plank. Big breath in. Breathe out, plank to floor. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, tuck those toes under hips, up. Crouch, bend the knees, look between the thumbs. Walk or jump your feet between the hands, chest to thighs, drop your head down. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, sun salute. Big breath in and breathe out, hands back to chest. Let's take a deep breath in and out to finish. Let's stay for another 2 breaths. Hold your breath in. 2 and 3, breathe out. One more time, big breath in. Hold the breath. 2, 3, breathe out. Lower your hands down, give your legs a shake. All right, so you should be feeling like you have your breath back and your heart rate has gone back to normal. So do hold your breath in and let your lungs absorb all that oxygen to bring you back to your resting position. Now we're going to do some balances. We'll start off with a nice simple tree pose. So rolling your right foot forward, keep those hips nice and even. Bring your knee out to the side, rotate it outwards and squeeze your buttocks together, tummy firm, lift up your rib cage and then let's take a deep breath in, feeling nice and long and breathe out, thumbs to heart center, beautiful work. Now you can bring your foot to your calf or bring your foot a little higher. Now you ideally lift it up without your hand, but if you need your hand, please use it. All right, now let's take a deep breath in. Circle the arms up to the ceiling, Venus lock, so link the fingers, palms up to ceiling, reach up through the arms. Shoulders are down, tummy is in, rib cage open. Let's take 3 breaths. Lower the hands down, bring them back to the chest. Let's take a breath in and out. Knee forward, little kick forward, float the foot down and lower the hands down. Let's take a walk with the feet. Try that on the other side. All right, roll the left foot forward, tighten the tummy, knee out to side, give the buttocks a little squeeze together, tummy in, lift up the rib cage, nice and tall through the spine. And deep breath in, arms above head in prayer, thumbs to heart center. And we're going to pick the same foot position. So foot to calf, or slide your heel up high, or perhaps even just bring it up and press it into that inner thigh. When you're nice and stable, let's bring the arms above the head, link the fingers, rotate the palms up to ceiling. Shoulders are down, but rib cage lifted. Nice firm waist. 3 breaths. Float your hands down, bring your hands back to your chest, take a breath in and out. Float your knee forward, little kick, float the foot down, lower your hands down. That's nice, let's take a walk. One more balance. Now we're going to do a sideways dancer, so a little bit different to the forward backward dancer. Start in the same way though. Roll your right foot forward, tighten your tummy, lift your knee up and hold the ankle. Bring the knee to a nice thigh stretch position, squeeze your buttocks, hips push forward and we get the stretch in the thigh. Now we're going to float the arm out to the side, so soften your standing knee, float out to the side,
just bring your arm shoulder height, lift your knee up. Now you're finding the point where you may tip over, so you don't want to go that far. You want to go just before you tip over, stop at that point. Now when you're ready, press the foot into the hand, create a bow. So now the shoulder blade, the buttocks and the thigh are working quite strongly. Take 3 breaths. Okay, float the knee down, float the hand down, and let's release the foot. Changing sides. Roll the left foot forward, lift the knee up, tight tummy, hold the top of the foot. Line those knees up, squeeze the buttocks. Now we're going to soften into that standing knee. Float the hand out to the side. That's it, just shoulder height is fine. Now, once you've found your balance area, press the top of the foot in the hand and just open the chest. Nice squeeze in the buttocks. Take 3 breaths. Okay, float the hand down, bring the knee back to body line and lower the foot down. Let's take a walk. Alright, we're just going to finish off with a short sequence. So let's toe heel our feet out a little bit wider and then pivot them. So you've got one foot facing forward and the other foot is either 90 degrees facing, facing sideways for your right leg and facing forward your back toes. Now try and bring them to 45 degrees if you can. I want your chest to face me. Lift your arms up to shoulder height. And we're going to squeeze our buttocks, tighten the tummy, then push the hip out to the side and reach. We've got a triangle. So if you have squeezed your buttocks and tightened your tummy, you should get a nice inner thigh stretch. So let's find that. Once we've found that, let's move into our triangle position. So you want your arms in a T position and just in front of the bottom knee. Now for those who are quite good at this, now I want your butt to squeeze because otherwise it's going to pop out the back and it'll be very obvious that you're not quite in the right position and you won't get that inner thigh stretch either. So you should be able to easily put your hand on the other side of your leg. That's it, let's take 3 breaths. So now stretching in the top side of the body, around the hip and around the ribs. Now I want you to bend the front knee, put the weight in the front leg and then windmill yourself up to a proud warrior. So line your arm up with your nose, look at your arm or lift your chin and gaze at your palm. So you want that head to be comfortable, so pick the head position that suits you most. Breathe down to the belly, 3 big breaths. Now bring your hand to your hip and then heel toe your back foot a bit closer. Rotate your hips so they're facing forwards, over your front foot, they're facing your front foot. Squeeze your buttocks together. Keep your hands on hips, lifting up nice and tall. Lift that chest up. Breathe in and breathe out. Pull the tummy in, bend forward. Now you should be getting quite an intense stretch in the back of that front leg. Keep the knee a little bit soft. Now you can go a third of the way down or half the way down. This is our pyramid pose. Or you can pull your tummy in, round your back out, hands on shins or hands to floor and head to knee. So just check in with that front knee that you're not locking it. Take a few breaths here. Okay, lovely. So we're going to place the hands on the hips one at a time, tighten the buttocks and the tummy, look forward and hinge back up. We're going to pivot our feet around the other direction. So hips and chest are facing forward. Front toes pointing sideways, back toes forward or 45 degrees. Squeeze the buttocks, tighten the tummy, arms up to shoulder height and breathe in, reach. Push your hips back, reach forward. Beautiful, reach, reach and windmill. Can we feel the inner thigh working? Just have a little check. A little squeeze in the buttocks should fix it. Lengthen through the back of the neck and pick your head position. Always feel free to look up sideways or down. Now, of course, your chest is nice and open. You can bring your arm out to the other side. How do we feel? Still just as balanced. That's it, you should be. 3 breaths. Bend your front knee. Lift the hand up. Shoulders down. Line the arm up with the nose. Gaze at the palm. Beautiful. Are we pushing firmly down with our back foot? That's it. Shoulders away from ears. Stare intently at your palm or just look at your arm. Breathe down to the belly. Beautiful. Lower the hand down. Hands on hips, heel toe the back foot a bit closer. And rotate your hips. That's it. Squeeze the buttocks together. Lift up the rib cage, shoulders draw down. Breathe in, breathe out, bend forward. So 1/3 of the way or half the way, depending on how much you can stretch the back of the leg. Just testing your body all the time. Just testing that you're moving in the right position for the stretch. You can also join me in a head to knee pose. Tummy in, hands on shin or head to knee with hands on floor. Keep the front knee soft. Remember not to let it lock back. Now, walk your hands around to the front, pivot your feet so they're in a wide leg position, toes pointing forward. And let your upper body hang down. And take your hands, rotate the fingers to point underneath your legs and take a walk with your hands under your legs. Now some of you might be able to put your head on the floor because you've got nice flexible hips. But the others, just do your best for your head maybe lifted off the floor. I want you to move your body weight to forward in your foot. So your hips lift up. Your knees are slightly soft, they can be bent. Let's take 3 breaths here. Right into the back. Walk your hands forward under your chest now and we're going into a squat. So heel toe your feet inwards until your heels line up with your sit bones. And squat down. Now for those who do not do squats, just sit down in a butterfly pose. Palms together, elbows inside knees. Give them a little push away. Bring the hands down to the chest. That's it, beautiful. Stretching the inner thighs. Nice big stretch. That's it. Let's take a few breaths here. Okay, place the hands on the floor and let's take a seat. Swing around to your long ways on your mat. Hands behind the knees. Pull your tummy in, round your back out and walk your hands down the backs of the legs. And let's bring those knees to chest. Give them a nice big hug, lift your hips up, lengthen out the lower spine. And lift your legs up again. Hands could be behind the thighs, hands on the floor. Or join me in a shoulder stand. So rolling up, need a little bit of core strength for that one. Take your thumbs around your waist and your fingers around your back, just holding just on the top of your pelvis. And let's rotate those ankles, just 5 times one way, and then rotate them 5 times the other. The ankles need a little stretch out because they've worked quite strongly. Okay, beautiful. Now from here, I'm going into wrap. There are 2 ways to go into wrap. The more advanced version is bring your fingers to the sides of your hips. Lower one foot down and then the other. You're now in wrap. For those who prefer to do a gentler version, your legs are going to be up. You're going to bring your knees down to your nose, hands to sides, or down on the floor. Roll down and bring your feet to the end position. Then tighten your tummy, flatten your lower back and peel the vertebrae off the floor. You're now in wrap.
Let's link the fingers under the back, roll up onto shoulders for neck bridge. Lift the head up, lengthen through the back of the neck, squeeze the buttocks, lift the hips higher and lower your little fingers to the floor. You can always just stay in a wrap if this is a little bit too strong for you. 3 breaths into the belly. Now release those hands, flatten your shoulder blades down, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, tighten the tummy, draw it down so you can really flatten that lower back on the floor. Lengthen and flatten or bring each vertebrae down individually. Bring the knees to the chest, give them a nice hug. Let's just rock from side to side on the lower back. And then lower your feet down. Beautiful. We're going to bring the feet wide as the mat and drop the knees inwards. Or we're going into butterfly pose by soles of feet together, knees dropped outwards. Let's press the elbows in the floor, lift shoulder blades up, hug them together, flatten them down with the chest nice and open. Take your left hand on your heart center, right hand on your belly. Lift your head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let's take 3 or 4 breaths in this position. So focus on the breathing. Breathe into your hips where the stretch is happening if you are in butterfly pose. Now if you want to extend your legs, go into a relaxation position, roll your feet outwards and your thighs outwards. Bring your arms by your sides, making sure the shoulder blades are still flat on the floor with the chest open. Lift the head up, tuck the chin in and make sure the back of the neck is lengthened. If you need to move your head from side to side to release any tension, just move your head 2 or 3 times. Let your fingers curl. And let's just pause and focus on our breathing. Now if you wish to have a longer relaxation, turn off the video for as long as you want and then turn it back on again and join us to finish. Okay, let's move the fingers and the toes. Bring the breath down to the belly. Walk your feet up to the end position, then roll to your side. Rest your head on your arm. Lift yourself up into a seated position, lengthening through the lower spine, relaxing the shoulders down. Just drop the chin a little closer towards the chest and just pause a moment and thank your body for a wonderful job it's done today. Take a deep breath in, lift the arms up. And breathe out, thumbs to heart center, connecting the thumbs to your heart. And have thoughts of gratitude for the opportunities you have in your lives. And let's take 3 big breaths to finish, so breathing down to the belly. Let the breath come up to the rib cage, shoulders and back. And breathe out. And again into the belly. Fill up the ribs, shoulders and back, and breathe out. Take 1 more deep breath in at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and if you like the video, press like.
And make sure that you subscribe so you can get regular updates. Make a comment if you're happy. Please join me again and we'll do some more yoga stretching in different directions with a different theme.